Hi, I'm Chef AJ, and today I'm going to show you how to make 7 quick, easy, healthy, and delicious recipes from the annual Forks Over Knives meal plan. I'm going to show you how to make a creamy, delicious orange date shake, another creamy, delicious beet and cherry smoothie. Right here we have an autumn salad, lemon poppy seed overnight oats with jammy blueberries, a fruited brown rice salad, Spanish brown rice, and a thick and creamy, delicious curried sweet potato soup, all made from whole food plant-based ingredients in less than 30 minutes. You can try the Forks Over Knives annual meal plan absolutely free for 2 weeks just by clicking the link below. And let me show you how easy it is to make healthy and delicious food thanks to Forks Over Knives. Everybody, Chef AJ here, and I'm so excited to share with you 7 easy and delicious recipes from the annual Forks Over Knives meal plan. Now, if you want to try this meal plan, you can get 2 weeks absolutely free just by clicking the link below this video. You know, I did a video like this last year and it got a very wonderful response, and I was asked to do it again. This year what I did is, instead of just picking recipes that I knew that I would like, I decided to do all new recipes that I haven't tried yet from the meal plan using a wonderful tool they have, a search box, where I literally put in all the ingredients that I had in my house to generate the recipes I'm going to do. It generated more than 50 recipes, which means that it's versatile. It uses easy, accessible ingredients. I didn't even have to go to the store. I don't live near a store anymore. I used to live next door to Trader Joe's for 25 years. Now the closest store is 20 minutes away. I had all the ingredients on hand to make all of these recipes. Now, what's really cool about this is you not only get the recipe printed out, you also get a shopping list that you can take to the grocery store with you, a meal prep list, and let's say you don't want to print it out, you're not old school like me, there's this little thing right here called the QR code. You hold your phone over it and everything shows up on your phone. The recipe, the ingredients, the shopping list, so it's really pretty cool. So the first thing I'm going to make is an orange date shake, and I was intrigued by this recipe because if you follow me on YouTube, you know one of my more popular recipes is the desert date shake, because I live in the desert now and date shakes are really popular. When they had the orange added to it, I thought this is going to be delicious. So I've never tasted it before, but I'm excited to get started. Now I'm going to give you all the ingredients and all the recipes in the show notes below. So I'm going to tell you what the ingredients are, but I'm not going to tell you exact measurements when I cook because it's just, I don't have it memorized. So you'll have everything printed below, I promise you. So we have the non-dairy milk of your choice. I like to use an unsweetened almond milk, one that is just almonds and water, which you can get pretty much everywhere now. What would an orange date shake be without an orange? And I'm also including the zest, the outer part of the orange. We've got some cinnamon, oats, and the medjool dates, pitted of course, and our frozen bananas. Make sure that they are frozen solid and that you peel them before you freeze them. The riper the banana, the sweeter the shake. Put everything in the blender. I can tell you it already smells delicious. If you have a high-powered blender, what you can do, and this is something that I often like to do, is put a few ice cubes in to make it thicker, almost like ice cream. This smells amazing. Oops, looks like one of the dates, looks like 2 of the dates didn't get blended because I didn't want to keep you waiting. But I can re-blend this before I drink it. And what I like to do, just because it's pretty, this wasn't in their recipe, but I really like things to look pretty. And so I sometimes like to sprinkle with a few pomegranate seeds. And there you have it, the Forks Over Knives Orange Date Shake. Enjoy. So here is another delicious smoothie recipe. This would make a delicious breakfast, an after-school snack for the kids, or even dessert. And it's all red, perfect for Valentine's Day. It's the cherry beet smoothie. So we start with our favorite non-dairy milk. I prefer to use an unsweetened one, a vanilla one. We've got our frozen cherries. These are dark pitted frozen cherries. What would a beet smoothie be without beets? I get these already steamed at the store, but you can always steam your own. Full of antioxidants. Beets are so good for you. And the oats. And for sweetness, bananas. Also for thickness. So we're going to blend it all, preferably in a high-powered blender. This looks like ice cream, and boy, is this beautiful. Look at the color. Oh, it smells so good. And I always like to make it even prettier with a few pomegranate seeds on top. And there you have it, the Forks Over Knives Cherry Beet Smoothie. To your health. So now I'm going to show you the autumn salad from the Forks Over Knives annual meal plan. And you can customize it. If you don't have an ingredient, you can substitute another one. I'm going to show you, for example, this recipe called for dried cranberries. I didn't have any, so I'm using dried cherries, no biggie. It called for quinoa. I didn't have any at this time, but I had some leftover rice. So things are very, very versatile and interchangeable. First, we're going to make the dressing. We have unsweetened applesauce, red wine vinegar, lemon juice. It called for Dijon mustard. All I had was the salt-free stone ground, and a really interesting ingredient in a salad dressing, apple pie spice. I like to use the spices from local spicery myself because they're delicious. So we're just going to whisk the dressing in the bowl that I'm going to be serving it in so everything gets nice and incorporated. It really smells delicious. They have such delicious flavor combinations in their recipes. So got my dressing, which is nice and thick. And now I'm going to add my rice. Actually, I said called for quinoa, but no big deal. Any grain I'm sure would work, even millet. I have got my shaved Brussels sprouts. I actually used cruciferous crunch because I couldn't find shaved Brussels sprouts in the store, and I always have cruciferous crunch. It called for an apple, but I wanted to use a pear because I had more pears than apples. But it's a fall salad, and when I think of fall, I also think of pears. I have got my dried cherries. Pears and cherries go great together. They're a natural combination. And my chopped onion. I'm using a red onion. And so now I'm just going to mix it up in my pretty bowl. They come up with such great combinations in Forks Over Knives. My dear friend Chef Darshana Thacker is one of the chefs. A lot of the recipes are hers. And this was great because I used the leftover rice that I had, and if I had more, I would probably add a little bit more rice to it. This is a great way to get your greens. You know, when you finely shave Brussels sprouts or things like cruciferous crunch, makes it very, very palatable. There we go. And so we can just put it on a plate. I want to dig in right now. And again, I don't know, lately I've just been topping everything with pomegranate seeds just because they're so delicious and they're so pretty. And it does make everything pretty and delicious. And you see how easy these recipes are, and I know you'll love it, and so will your family. So there we have it, the Forks Over Knives Autumn Salad. Enjoy! So now I'm going to show you how to make the lemon poppy seed overnight oats with jammy blueberries. So I've got a pan on the stove, high heat, and I'm going to put in my blueberries, lemon juice, water, And it called for a tablespoon of sugar, but I prefer not to use processed sugar, so I used a tablespoon of date syrup, because believe it or not, even though I bought the commercial date syrup is something I can make in my own kitchen, but feel free to use sugar if you want. And so basically we're just going to cook these down until they reach a jam-like consistency, and it will take about, you know, maybe 10 minutes or so. Now the overnight oats, the lemon poppy seed overnight oats, I made in advance. That's where they get the name overnight oats, and you can see it gets nice and thick from the chia seeds, and it smells just like lemon poppy seed cake. It's going to be delicious when it's done. So rather than bore you with my stirring skills, I'll come back when this is done and I'll tell you how long it took, and then I'll show you how to finish this easy, delicious breakfast or even dessert. So honestly, that took 3 minutes at high heat, so I'm going to turn the heat off. That's how long it took to reduce. And you know, you can make a jam without cooking it. You can do a chia jam, but this was so easy. Like I said, I thought it would take 10 to 15 minutes. It took only 3. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plate it. I like when things are pretty, so I'm going to take, oh, you can see, look at the lemon zest and the poppy seeds. Oh, it smells so good. Beautiful. So I'm going to put this in a pretty glass. I bet your kids would love this. And then I'm going to take some of the chia jam. Well, it's not chia jam. Why did I say that? I'm used to making chia jam. I'm going to take some of the blueberry jam topping. Wow. Now, doesn't that look delicious? Wouldn't you love to eat this for breakfast? Forks over knives, lemon poppy seed overnight oats with jammy blueberries. Really easy to make. Enjoy. So now I'm going to show you how to make another easy, delicious recipe. This could be a side dish. I mean, I could eat it for an entree. It's a fruited brown rice, and I always have leftover rice, so it's very easy to make. Here I've got my dressing ingredients: red wine vinegar. I'm using stone ground salt-free mustard, but you could always use Dijon, and some thyme. And I'm going to put it in my pan and just stir it around. I'm using about medium-high heat. And when that gets nice and dissolved, I am going to add my cooked rice. Oh, that smells good. I love the smell of mustard. I've got my chopped apple. I'm using an envy apple because that's my favorite kind. And some unsweetened dried cherries. And then I'm going to mix it all together. It smells delicious. It absorbed the dressing right away. So you can just cook it until it's warmed through. It's so pretty. I love using a little tool called the Vidalia Chop Wizard so that every apple is cut to the same size. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So there you have it. And, oop, that's hot. Delicious, fruited brown rice. Enjoy. I love grain dishes. I always have leftover grains, especially rice, so I'm going to make the Spanish brown rice. Really simple. You just need a skillet, and you basically just throw all your ingredients in, which is a can of tomatoes, 15-ounce can, actually 14.5, but you could use 15 ounces. I'm using the Muir Glen Organic Fire Roasted, salt-free, because that's what I like, but feel free to use whatever you like. I always have these on hand, especially when they go on sale. So I'm putting that in the skillet with my leftover brown rice and my corn. I'm using a fire roasted organic corn just because it has a lot of flavor. Look at the beautiful color in this dish already. And then my seasonings. I have chili powder, cumin, and garlic powder. I'm using a salt-free chili powder that I got at Trader Joe's. And we're just going to put that in about medium heat, and we're going to stir it until it's heated through. And this would make a great side dish for, you know, anything really that you eat. Burritos, tacos, tostados. It would be great with a salad. You could even add beans to it. You don't have to follow the recipes exactly, although with the Forks Over Knives annual meal plan, if you follow the recipes exactly, they always come out perfect every time. Perfect rice every time. Now, I'm going to go off the grid and make my own little variation here because, as I mentioned, I love color, and the one color that is missing from this delicious dish is green. So I am going to add a little bit of cilantro. I know not everyone likes cilantro, so you could omit it or maybe add some parsley, but I do think adding a little bit of green to the dish will just make it even prettier than it already is. And you can see this didn't even take me 5 minutes, and these were ingredients that I already had on hand. Simple, everyday, healthy, delicious ingredients. And there you have, oops, that bell means it's ready. In less than 5 minutes, delicious, easy Spanish rice. So now I'm going to show you how to make a very delicious and hearty curried sweet potato soup from the Forks Over Knives annual meal plan. So I'm starting off with high heat on the stove, and I've got a chopped red onion, and I am going to add a can, 14.5 ounce of tomatoes. It actually called for 2 cups of tomatoes. I didn't realize I was out of tomatoes, but that's okay because this is just about the same amount. So we're just going to put these in the soup pot, and we're just going to stir it around for about a minute or 2 until it becomes translucent. What I really love about the Forks Over Knives meal plan is not only the delicious recipes, which are new every week, not every single recipe is new every week, but they're always adding new recipes, but that I can customize it to my unique needs. For example, I happen to be allergic to soy. Nothing wrong with it, it's very healthy, but I'm allergic to it. So when I figure out what I'm going to want to eat or what recipes I'm going to make, I check or uncheck that box. Same thing for gluten. I can't have gluten. Some people can't have nuts, so you can always customize it to you or your family's needs. And what's so great is that it prints everything out for you. You can always use your phone. You don't have to print it out, but it prints out the shopping list. It prints out the prep sheet, what to do first, and it just makes it so easy to have healthy food ready, because really, you know, if all you had in your house was healthy food, you'd probably eat it. And this has never been easier because they tell you exactly what to do step by step. You don't have to have gone to culinary school or be a gourmet cook. The recipes are varied, they're interesting, they're flavorful, they're easy to find ingredients no matter where you live. And if you only want to make a half a recipe, it figures it out. If you want to make 8 times the recipe, it tells you exactly what you need. So you're going to stir that until it becomes translucent, and then we're going to add the spices. We have a mild curry powder. We have, what was the other thing in here? I know there was cayenne. There was one other thing in there. Hold on. I measured this in advance. It was cinnamon. There we go. So now we're going to add the spices, and we're going to stir that for about a minute or so, just till it gets fragrant. Wow, they really do know how to figure out how to use spices. And of course, I personally don't use salt, and I'm allergic to black pepper, but you can always add those things to your taste. This right here smells delicious. This would be great over rice. God, I'd probably throw a few raisins in, yellow raisins. So now I'm gonna add my broth, and you know, you can always use water. I make my broth usually just because I just can't contribute to that extra packaging. I'm going to hold a little bit back to see, maybe make a thicker soup. You know, broth is so expensive, and honestly, the way these soups are flavored, you probably could just use plain water, but it's pretty easy to make your own. So now I'm going to add, I probably should have taken a bigger pan, so I might not be able to add all my ingredients. I might have to change pans while this is cooking, but I've got my white potatoes, I've got my sweet potatoes. I'm going to fit in as much as I can. Should have used a bigger pot, note to self. We'll make it work, no matter what. And apple. I love this little tool for cutting my apples, my onions, my zucchini, my cucumbers. because it's all the same size, and it'll add a nice amount of sweetness. So now I'm going to cover it. I'm going to let it cook for 15 minutes, and then I'm going to show you how to finish it off. So let me show you how to finish the curried sweet potato soup. You know the saying, a watched pot never boils? Well, an unwatched pot apparently boils over, because I got to doing something else and it did boil over, but that's my fault because I used too small of a pot. But it took about 15 minutes for the apples and the potatoes and the sweet potatoes to get nice and soft. And now what they want you to do is they want you to remove about, I'm going to turn the heat off now. They want you to remove about 3 cups of the soup and blend it. Just for purposes of filming, it's just going to be easier if I use the immersion blender right in the pot, which you can carefully do. And I'm only going to blend it a little bit because the idea is by blending some of the soup, it makes the whole soup thick. So I'm just going to put it in. And I'm just going to blend a little. You know, you could blend the whole thing, quite honestly. It's really up to you. And I do tend to like creamy soups, so I just might do a little more blending than was asked for. It smells so good. This will make it nice and thick. And I don't think they would get mad at me for blending their soup, because you know why? I love blended soups, but I might leave a little bit in just for texture. Oh yeah, let's do like that. That looks really good. About half and half. So now let's get a ladle. Let's get a bowl. Yum. Oh yeah, this would be so good over rice or millet, even quinoa. And then of course, you know me guys and my pomegranate seeds, everything is a little bit about color, contrast. Green would be nice in here, maybe some fresh chives. And there you have it. Didn't even take 20 minutes to make, and you'll love it. Thank you so much for watching this demonstration of these 7 easy, delicious, and healthy recipes from the annual Forks Over Knives meal plan. I hope you will give your 2 free week meal plan a try. The link is right below, as are all the recipes. Enjoy. I'm Chef AJ, and I make healthy, taste delicious, thanks to great recipes from Forks Over Knives.